Now, let's move on to the next question of text completion. The question is, an avid numismatist, Henry, amassed a collection of coins from over 100 countries, a dash that took over 20 years and to 7 continents. The options for blank number 1 are sedulously, stealthily, cogently. And the options for blank second are endeavor, ruse and abyss. Now that we have read the question and the option words for both the blanks, the first step for solving this would be to read the entire sentence and figure out what is the main idea or subject of the sentence. It is always a good idea to read the entire passage for clarity and to get an idea of the context. And the second step would be to analyze how the parts of the sentence are connected to each other. Now, there may be more than one idea in any given sentence, and the key lies in understanding how the two ideas are connected to each other. So let's analyze what the question is all about. The first part of the question talks about Henry, who is being considered an avid numismatist. That means a keen, an eager, an enthusiastic, or a passionate, or devoted, or ardent collector of coins. As numismatist means a person who studies or collects coins, paper, money, or metals. It is also given that he collected a range of coins from over 100 countries. Looking at the other part, or the second blank, it talks about something that took over 20 years and took him to 7 continents. Now, with this basic layout of the question, let's look at both the blanks. As per the strategy, we have to look for the easier and more approachable blank out of the two. So, the first blank seems easier. It talks about Henry's effort, how he amassed or collected a collection of coins from over 100 countries, and it is also given that he is a passionate and eager collector. So, it's a humongous task or effort which requires a lot of hard work or diligence, patience or perseverance. So, the first blank has to be filled with a word with a positive connotation suggesting toil or hard work or exertion or diligence. So, our prediction for the first blank would be diligently, patiently, carefully or meticulously. Moving on to the second blank. It talks about something that took over 20 years and 7 continents. So, it can be a work or a task or an effort or an attempt that took him to 7 continents and over 20 years to accomplish it. So, our prediction for the second blank would be a work or a task or an effort or an attempt. Now that we have our predicted answers, let's move on to the option words for the first blank. The first word for the first blank is sedulously. The word sedulously is an adverb which means carefully and with a lot of effort and determination. The second option for the first blank is stealthily, which is also an adverb and it means to do something in a quiet, cautious, careful, secret and surreptitious manner so as to avoid being seen or heard. The third option for the first blank is cogently. The word cogently is also an adverb which means in a way that is clearly expressed or is likely to persuade people. So it means forcefully, emphatically, convincingly or persuasively. Now, out of all the three options, sedulously, which means diligently or meticulously, stealthily, which means cautiously and secretly, and cogently, which means convincingly or persuasively, sedulously matches with our prediction for the first blank. So, sedulously is our answer for the first blank. Now, look at the option words for the second blank. The first word for the second blank is endeavor, which is a noun and it means an attempt to achieve a goal. Basically, an endeavor is an effort or an attempt to do something, especially something new and original. The second word for the second blank is ruse, which is also a noun and it means an action, a plan or a trick intended to cheat or deceive someone. And the third word for the second blank is abyss. The word abyss is also a noun which means a very deep or bottomless pit or hole in the ground. It also means a difficult situation that brings trouble or destruction. As for instance, the country is sinking or plunging into an abyss of violence and lawlessness. So now, out of all three options, the word endeavor, which means an effort or attempt, the word ruse, which means an action or a plan or a trick to deceive someone, and the word abyss, which means a deep or bottomless pit or a difficult situation, endeavor matches with our prediction for the second blank. So our answer choices would be sedulously and endeavor.